His name is Moses Magamba. He is at a turning point on a long journey. He is fighting to heal the wounds that he has inflicted on his family. 12 years ago, he left his family with 2 teenage boys without saying a word. One of his sons is, like him, called Moses. He suffers from both physical and learning disabilities. But what are his thoughts now that he has finally returned to his family? His wife was close to committing suicide and had considered taking her son with her. This is the story of the Magamba family, and at the same time the story of a documentary film that had a huge influence on the whole family's life, especially for their son, as well as for many other families who have children with learning disabilities. We are just outside Jinja, Uganda's second city, where the Nile begins its journey from Lake Victoria. Just as in so many other places in Uganda, there is a continual fight here against poverty, illiteracy, AIDS, unemployment, and environmental and energy problems. And even here, the effects of the international financial crisis and of global warming can be felt. In 2006, a TV crew made a documentary about the work that the Danish organisation LEV had been doing for over 10 years in Uganda, work that had been supported by the Danish government aid body Danida. That film was called Voice of the Voiceless.
Uanset hvor man er henne i verden, så er der ildsjæle, der kæmper for at sikre et værdigt liv for folk med udviklingshæmning. Også selvom der er mange andre problemer at kæmpe med i landet.
The name of the Ugandan organisation that LEV has supported over all these years is UPACLET, the Ugandan Parents of Children with Learning Disabilities. UPACLET's goal is to bring together parents of children with learning disabilities from across the country. Together they can be a powerful voice which can call upon the government to provide education, care and employment, as well as working towards a greater understanding and acceptance of people with learning disabilities in an atmosphere of tolerance and respect.
Moses.
I ordered to name him Moses so that they can take up my own values.
Even though Moses was almost totally blind at birth, he went to the first 3 years of school, but then his body began slowly to change. His head began to swell, and he started to have problems in moving normally.
The reason why I left it was because the stage which Moses had reached required the financial support, which as a family we didn't have. So I thought I should find an alternative, go and mobilize resources to come and support the family.
He was diagnosed with hydrocephalus, where fluids accumulate in the cavities of the brain area. He needed an operation, but his family couldn't afford it. So the situation deteriorated, and Moses today has both physical and learning disabilities. He was away from his family for almost 10 years. He worked as a fisherman at the opposite end of the country, in, amongst other places, Crusader.
I didn't tell her, and it was really strategic. If I told her, she would really break it down.
But this happened anyway, and the documentary film described the terrible consequences there were for her and Moses when they were suddenly left alone.
Era n'abansazeewo wakiri ngula obutwa nnwe mpe n'omwana tunnwe twembi tufe olw'okubanga nali mbona nga tekaalina mugaso n'omwana ole ye naazira mugaso ku nsi.
The coming back was when I saw this film on the screen. I thought that I think the things had gone too far. So I decided that, no, let me go back and restore, rejoin my family.
Nze kyali musanfu era nalwawo okusanuka wali yali yayize kuba yali andeseewo yajja nga yanumukako.
She just neglected me. Yeah. She thought I'm the same person.
Forgiveness doesn't just come by itself. It is dependent on what you do to help it. And the first step towards acceptance and reunion begins when he actively participates in Upaklet meetings with his wife.
Today we have Mr. and Mrs. Magumba. They are here with us. They've come to share experience on their family life with their son Moses and what they've gone through.
He contributes by telling his version of the story.
I really don't know whether I'm able to heal the wounds. And I don't know what it means I can use to repair her soul.
She didn't feel well because she hadn't forgiven him in the first instance. Somebody going away for so many years, and then all of a sudden you see somebody coming back.
Weyabulawo tyama nawe weyaja. Butinze nasigala mu buzibu n'abonaabona n'omwana. Nza gwe neebuuza Tidi yajja paka Upaklet bwe yantoola mu China.
Because you can imagine, single-handedly without any hope. This is a child who needs help, 24-hour service, and is very strong, moving him out of the house. That's why in the last film she was talking of taking poison.
Now, what she has said is really a true story.
He didn't know anything about the documentary until he saw it, quite by chance, on national UBC television while he was living in Crusader.
When they put this film on, I think there is a lot of inspiration when we were touched, when the family was touched. And if they had not done this, perhaps the reconciliation wouldn't have been what? Possible.
Perhaps the film had an influence on his decision to return home. But there were other reasons behind his original decision to leave the family.
Moses had developed a problem. He was making a lot of unique noise. A noise which you cannot even tolerate throughout the day, throughout the night.
Well, psychologically, I think he was tortured and decided to leave.
When his wife's crisis was at its worst, she was contacted by Upaklet, and over the next couple of years she managed to build a new and relatively tolerable existence for herself, with enough energy for her and her son.
Kuba bye nali ndowooza byonna nabivaako. Era kyenayegamu nayega endabirira y'omwana, endiisa y'omwana, engeri gye nina okumutaako omukwano, kuba tutuuka ekiseera twagaya, twayemba ennemba, ze nanemba naye ennemba ezo dayembyenga obwira, twayirawo twayemba twembi.
Tujeze ngumba.
She learnt to take care of herself and Moses as a peasant farmer, together with the tiny income from her shop, which Upaklid had helped her to set up.
Wasobola okuba abaawo okwo okwebeesaawo.
Yeah, I mean, she had got adapted to this life without me. So she was stronger than I left her. She had her own programs now. But they said, let me demonstrate practically to her that I'm a changed man. I'm converted now to Upakured.
Hey, Moses.
Banji,
Namsavu. Nizani.
how are you?
I'm fine. Nizani.
Baligeza kuno tukobera. Mulisogoba na kwemeza sustainability. Twemereza otutya. Mr. Magumba nkuzwira mu ekyama ekya being a resourceful person.
Okwaire nanda era mulama gwa gavumenti. Kino ekintu omuntu kyosobola okukola. Niwe bamukosefu wakikola bulungi. Era kyabanga kisobola okwaki ogwa sente. Nangu was watching my behavior. Have I really changed? You know, what plans do I have? You know, like that. You know, so it has been really a gradual process to reach where we are now.
Kati ye Moses kulwenga yasanuka. Olwamukoba ati ndize mbaire najja kukola ayendize.
So when I came back, you also could not right I believe that I was disabled, but fortunately he knows my voice. Although he was not seeing me, he knew, he recognized that I was the father around.
Nasanuka ino. Era nasanuka ino. Nawe no send kwenda kuona.
I had thought that I made a mistake, first of all. And my first task is to see how I can reconcile with the Nangovi. I think that was my strategy now.
Ekintu ekyo namala kubuulirirwa okuva mu ba Upakured. Abambuulirira nemale namusonyiwa.
It's quite promising that he's a serious husband now, a serious parent, and even going to the extent of lobbying Rotary Club to get Moses a wheelchair, who was just lying on the floor.
You know, it's true he has a boring life. But now with this wheelchair, I think we should move him either twice a week outside, move him around the village, because I think it can help.
Kamugaso kubanga kamfulumya kulia nayo takukasana.
Era okuvaawo abaire muntu muikaikamu emirimu aginamba mu nnimiro tulina obubuzi ajje yabusiba okunaaza omwana.
Later on, she realized I really had the good intentions, not just abandoning her. And I said, from now onwards, let's share this problem now. Let's learn to live what? With the problem. So that I brief my people that now, no, I'm not that Magumba, which you used to know.
He has done something. And he's always attending UPACAD meetings. He has attended a number of trainings, as he said in his own words. So, to me, I think his meaning is starting a new life.
Okusooka yasasulira omwana school fees oyo yemale Makerere. Ekyokubiri yatandika okubudaabudanga Moses. Obulamu bwa Moses bwakyuka ino kubanga afuna n'emikisa bayine bayida kuwaka basobola okwembera abalala.
And I would say that he has really taken up a very big role, because he has accepted the children with intellectual disabilities to meet in his home. We are not paying anything.
Every Sunday, it is a session of fellowship with other parents, with what? Parents and children. Every Sunday from 2 o'clock up to around 5. We always gather in that room. Parents also share experiences, and the children are also composing songs and so. So every Sunday we expect a fellowship every Sunday.
Nango mwana gwe mulaba wano pitibwa Moses ow'ettendo anti ekimuli ekite kirungi eky'okwiga kyekimulisa akuppe y'ettendo tuuze
wano kusaba entuufu.
The fact that we have not really had recreation centers whereby we need to put these children and they relax and maybe be taken care of. This is still a big challenge. And well, you see there is a very big change, improved the quality of life in the home. They are happy. Even the neighbors are really, to me, the surrounding, the people appreciate his coming back. It was worth it.
Eriwo enkyukakyuka eriwo lwakuba nti kale nali mulekanga ino mu buliri aye buti mutoolayo twabaawo kulujja kutwaja ku TV waire tabona yaba ali kuwulira enemba niba ine bali awo.
Because I realized that keeping Moses in one position is also one of the problems. So that's why I said, okay, let me try. And I was told this when I attended the UPACAD workshop in town. So they told us the importance of exercise. And when I came back, I told my wife that, let's not keep Moses just in one position. Count. 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And we need really more exercises, training on that. What kind of exercises are really suitable? You see, we met. We attended a DEC meeting, a District Executive Committee meeting of Upakred. And one of the issues was sustainability. How does Upakred sustain itself the years to come? So, in that meeting, we deliberated over a number of projects. And there's this banana plantation. Here people like eating bananas. So I offered land myself for the project, you know. And one banana plant like that one can give menace, you know. We call them suckers, even up to the tune of about 5 or 6. So you can give this sucker to other parents to go and do and plant. So we thought it's a high returning project.
He is trying to build the basis for a kind of cooperative organisation, which will be strengthened by the establishment, together with the other families, of a number of new income-generating projects. Amongst others, there is the fish farm project.
You see, the climate changes are now very unpredictable. The crops can fail. So I thought of this idea of having, you know, the pond. Because in the ponds, whether it is shining or not, fish will grow in that pond. So as another income, you know, to support my family. So there is collective participation for this project.
His initiative can be felt not only in connection with the cooperative projects, but also at home with his family. And he supports his wife in the project which she started while he was away.
Yeah, the shop is on, and now people are used. There are a few commodities, you know, which we sell. And Madame that's one of the activities also Madame is participating. And everyone in the family. And Moses, let me note this. Moses is the best tenant now. Do you know why? When they knock on the window, Karibu. He will shout, Karibu. Because the mother may be in the kitchen. Karibu. If I left because of financial problems, the plan I had is to come back and, you know, adjust my family so that they don't have to depend on me only for sustainability. Let me have produce which they can participate in, and also generate income. So that it's really a collective effort. That let the whole family participate in the income generation.
You seen this case study of Mr. Magumba, whereby we saw that the father is now taking collective responsibility. When the mom goes to the garden, he takes care of Moses, and vice versa. So really, my urge to parents is that don't separate. These children need you because they belong to both of you, the mom and the dad.
So we are trying to make him integrate in the family program as if he was normal. That's what we are trying to do.
This is what Upakred is struggling for at a national level. And despite the fact that Moses was out of their lives for so many years, a sense of security has now been re-established in the family, and he has managed to do what other men seem unable to do, to return to their families and accept a child with physical and learning disabilities.
Let me take this opportunity to apologize to my wife formally. Let her not live in the past. Let her start what? Do like